2018 Junior Cert Higher Level Technical Graphics short questions. From 15, do any 10. Question 1. Hexagon, parallelogram, octagon, trapezoid. Question 2. Perspective. Vanishing points VP1, VP2. Do your little bit of light constructions. Use your pictorial here to aid you. And then it's just a matter of vanishing back to the vanishing points and then hitting in what you want. This point here, extend it on, back to the vanishing point. From here, come straight up or straight down to give you your point. Question 3, your calculations. I'm going to start off with 180 degrees in a triangle, so 50 and 80 gives me 130, so 180 minus 130 gives me 50, so A is 50. Okay, again 180 degrees in a straight line, so 50 plus 60 gives me 110. 180 minus 110 gives me 70. Okay, here we have our Z, so alternative angles will always be the same. So if this is 70 and this is 70, 180 degrees in a straight line, 180 minus 70 gives me 110. Question 4. Freehand isometric using your dots. I have a bit of work done already, so we're counting our boxes. Okay, so it's 4 wide, so 4 across. So that's basically what I see here. So that's that heavy day. And now I'm thinking about giving it its depth. So it's 4 back, back 4, back 4. The shelf here is 2 wide, so 2 wide, and then it's back 4, up 2. From here, up 2, cross 2, same width. And then it's just a matter of finishing the legs. That's it completed. Color or shade. You can see that the top there is shaded in. So I'm going to do the same. Don't throw away those simple marks. There's your question 4. Question 5, I normally leave that one out. So question 6, rotation. Okay, so we want to rotate point D down until it hits the line L1. So I'm going to rotate that down. The rotation point is O, so join that point back to O. That is the angle that I want to rotate everything by. Measure that with your protractor, and it works out as being 47 degrees. Okay, so all other points now need to be rotated by 47 degrees. So A, join back to O, which I've already done there. Measure 47 degrees. Extend my line out. And rotate A onto that new line. And that's the new position for A. It's a new position for D. Okay, the same with C. So C join back. Draw, measure 47 degrees. extend my line out. And rotate C onto that line. That's where my point C is. B, bring it back to O. Measure 47 degrees. Draw my line out. And rotate B onto that line. That's where my new point B is. Okay, and finally this point here, which I'll just call X, joined, it is already joined back to O. So all I need to do is measure 47 degrees, draw my line out, and that is the line. Okay, and that is your question completed. Question 7, auxiliaries. Okay, so we want to find the true shape of surface S. We want to look at the object from that perspective. We project all our lines perpendicular to the x1, y1 line. Okay, so get your 45 degree set square and draw your first line, and then all other lines are parallel. Where do I get my heights from? I get my heights from elevation. So that is the height of this point. It's also the height of the back point. That is the height of this point here. It's also the height of the back point. And it's also the height of this front point as well. Okay, and then we measure this height. That is the height, this line, and this line again. Okay, so what does the object look like? So my surface S first is from there to this point. So that's the true shape of surface S. Now it says it's an auxiliary elevation, so therefore we need to draw in the rest of the object. Including hidden detail. And there you have your auxiliary elevation completed. Okay, question 8, a freehand. I already pre-drew that, so you're drawing it in isometric, so that angle there should be about 30 degrees, and then you get your heights and you just do a good freehand sketch of it. Question 9, CAD commands. Sketch, ellipse, dimension, so smart dimension, smaller ellipse inside, offset, and then extrude. Okay, question 10. This is solids and contact. If you have a football rolled up against a ramp or a cone or whatever you're rolling it up against, the point of contact between that surface and this sphere will always be at 90 degrees, so a perpendicular angle. Okay, so that line was perpendicular to that. So how do we get it? We run our set square along and we go 90 degrees to the center point, and that gives me my point of contact and elevation. Where is it in plan? You project directly down and it's along that center line. So that's where my point of contact is in plan. Center point brought down, the sphere stays the same radius, you draw it in. Question 11, ellipse theories. Okay, so this is where we need to recognize which one of the 5 theories that we learned is being examined. Okay, so what information do we have? We have our focal points and we have a point P on the ellipse. So that should trigger your knowledge of the theories. Measure from P to F1, rotate up. That gives me a point called, and I'm just going to call it Q. QF2 is the length of the major axis. So the radius of the major axis is half that. So bisect it. So set your compass to more than half, swing an arc, and swing an arc. That gives you 2 points. Connect them. So that is the halfway mark between Q and F2. So that is basically the radius of the major auxiliary circle. We have the center of the ellipse, so I can draw in my major auxiliary circle there. Half the major swung from the focal points gives you the top of the minor. Half the major swung from the focal points will give you the top of the minor. So therefore, that is the size of my minor auxiliary circle. Once you have that information, and I'm not going to do that now, what do we need to do? We divide up 60/30. I'll do one of them. So there's my 30-degree line. So we come across, horizontally across, and vertically down, and that gives me a point on the curve. And that'll allow you to draw in your ellipse. Okay, question 12, B, C, and A. Okay, so you match this with this. So this one has the medium-sized one, then the smallest one, and then the biggest one. So therefore, when you're looking down on top of it, you'll see the medium-sized one, but the smaller one will be underneath it, so therefore it's hidden detail. So that's how I recognize it's B. This is smallest, biggest, or medium, biggest, one on top of the other. You'll see all of them, so therefore it's C. Biggest one hiding the other 2 means there's 2 hidden detail, so that's why it's A. Okay, question 13. Find the points, clearly show all points of contact between circles. So whenever you have a question like this, the first thing I do is I always join the center points. Okay, so I know that the center point between this circle touching this circle is going to be there. Where this circle touches this circle is going to be there. Where this circle touches this massive big one, it's going to be there. Okay, and then where this line hits this circle, or the point of contact there, this line hits this circle, gives me a point of contact there. So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points of contact. Actually, one more up here as well. So where the big circle touches that circle, so 6 points of contact. There's 12 marks for each one of these questions. So for every point of contact you locate, you'll get 2 marks. Question 14. Question 14. In 2019 exam paper, we were asked to draw a well-proportioned plan view. Here we are asked to draw a well-proportioned freehand sketch of the elevation. So what would we see if we were looking at the camera from here? Okay, and that's your elevation. And then last one, question 15. The following, you're basically creating a pie chart. Okay, so 24 tourists were surveyed while visiting a village in Ireland. The following were the nationalities of the tourists surveyed: 12 English, 6 American, 3 German, and 3 French. Divide the given circle to present this information graphically as a pie chart. So how many tourists were there in total? We saw there's 24 in total. Okay, so what percentage of 24 is 12? It's half of it. Okay, so that's why half of it there is the UK. 6, what percentage is 6 of 24? It's a quarter. So therefore, that's US. And then 3 and 3 are the same. So there, basically, that other quarter left needs to be divided up evenly. So this is Germany. and this is France. Very important that you color or shade, okay? So whatever way you want to do it, that's that one. That one. Probably easier just to use coloring pencils, but I'm just doing different. Okay, so they're all different now, so they stand out which one's which. And that is 2018 short questions. You had to pick any 10 of those questions.